Richard Allen, the man accused of killing those two young girls in Delphi, Indiana, is back in court. NewsNation's Alex Capriello is covering the case. He's live for us now. And I know there's been some news, Alex, right, with the judge already tossing out some charges against Allen. Let's start with that. What can you tell us?
Yeah, a bit of a surprise this morning, and it certainly came without fanfare. The entire conversation between the attorneys and the judge in front of the whole courtroom lasted about 2 minutes. But during that brief conversation, we learned that 2 kidnapping counts that were held against Richard Allen have been dropped completely, which means he only now faces murder charges when he goes to trial as scheduled right now, May 13th. You might remember Richard Allen is the prime suspect for the deaths of 2 young girls about 7 years ago, teenagers at the time. And so right now, moving forward, we know that the trial is scheduled to happen, barring any sort of pushing of the timeline. We expect that trial to happen May 13th. And of course, it's going to be murder charges at this point.
Yep, kidnapping out, murder still in. There's been some talk about the relationship between the judge in this case and the defense team. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's the story of the day in a way, the sort of bad blood that exists between the defense and the judge. The judge at one point basically dismissing these 2 defense attorneys, but the Indiana Supreme Court reinstating them. And so this is the first time that we're actually seeing them face to face in a courtroom since that moment in January. And it feels a bit icy inside that courtroom. Really, the judge, no holds barred, really. She says what she wants to say when she wants to say it. The defense is being polite and professional, but at the same time, you can almost feel the animosity in between there. There's a lot of people inside that courtroom who are very familiar, not just with this Delphi case and the facts around the crime, but also about the relationship between the judge and the defense. And one person weighed in on what it seems like to him. Take a listen.
It's a very contentious atmosphere. That's what I'll say. It's very contentious in there. It's very heavy, and it feels like there's a struggle going on. And I'm not sure that that's going to help the case overall for us to get justice.
And it's tough because right now those defense attorneys are being held for contempt. The ruling on that won't be coming for at least another 30 days. But at the same time, they're doing their best to defend themselves, their client, and their own honor. But it's hard to do when the prosecution is grilling them on how such an egregious crime scene leak could have happened from somebody that was at one point affiliated with that defense team. So a lot of punches being thrown. For the most part, professional inside there, Connell, but you could tell that there's a little bit of animosity.
Right. Tension for sure. Okay, Alex, thank you. Alex Capriello on the Delphi case from Indiana for us today. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.